Jonesy, it's officially racing season. Footy's done and dusted and the city of Brisbane is absolutely heaving. But now we get into the big boy stuff. Let's get into Caulfield Guineas Day and Hill Stakes Day. It's what dreams are made of.
Yeah, can't wait. Ripping weekend of racing. There's a lot of value, I think, on the card in both Sydney and Melbourne, and we talk about that on today's podcast. Got to thank the good people at Ned's as well. Who else would you rather bet with this spring? We've got a hosted pot. How good
Another
is that?
one. Another one. You can tap the link in our bio to join that hosted pot, or just log into your Neds app and you'll see our glowing faces right there. It can't actually get much easier than that. But yeah, join the pot. We'll be betting on behalf of you, and follow in the group for a staking plan. Follow us on Instagram. We might even give a bit of a rationale behind our picks. Maybe. We'll see how we go. But yeah, join the fun. It's good stuff.
All will be revealed. Let's go get them.
But what is gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
I need to ask you a question. Be curious, Drifters.
Allegron's won the Brisbane Cup, but it's all Antino. Blake Shin, take a bow. Barraquil, Benny Allen hasn't moved.
Broadside him, bobbed, won the Golden Rose.
Pride of Jenny, trying to find the reserves at the 100. She's 3 in front of Mr. Brightside. It's all too late. Pride of Jenny has run them into the night. Switzerland, the big winner, by 2.5 Bellatrix Star.
He's down, Jolly Star. She is a star in the making. Jolly Star bolts in.
It's all Isthmus. She's very smart and fast.
Mate, it might be last week's news, but we haven't actually addressed on this very good podcast of ours, if I might say so myself. The mighty Brisbane Broncos getting the almighty Quinella in the AFL and the NRL. Bit of Reece Lightning never hurt anyone.
That's a good Quinella, isn't it? Mate, that was, you know, if Nathan Cleary didn't do what he did to the Broncos only a couple of years ago, I'd be saying that's easily the best grand final performance I've ever seen, and Clive Churchill, very well deserved. The difference between him and Cleary, though, Cleary was like 20 minutes of pure carnage, whereas Reece was like across the entire game. Defensively, offensively. That try he scored was unbelievable. So, mate, congrats to you. Like, do you even know what it means to lose anymore?
Well, mate, since we won the Quaddie the day before, Sir Delius won, like, I might never lose again.
You might never lose again.
The Lions picked up Oscar Allen and Sam Draper in the trade period. Mate, we traded away Starcevic and we got back pick 16 and 22. Huh? Sure. Thanks for your service, Brandon, but we'll take that, bruh. Like, it's just coming up. It's coming up trumps.
It's coming up Millhouse, isn't it? Hey, we'll take the last two premierships and this year's grand final victory with, 7 or 8 players under the age of 22, and then how about we just, shore up our future as well and just, maybe win the next 10. When we do that?
That'd be nice. Like the record in what's the record in the NRL, the rugby league held by the Dragons? Is it 11 in a row?
I think it's 11, yeah.
Yeah. So the record in the AFL is 4 in a row. I think it was Collingwood.
Right.
So I think that might have been in like the 50s maybe, which I reckon, is that around when the Dragons were doing their work as well?
I think it is around when the Dragons were doing their work. Maybe the Dragons were a little bit later.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so got my eyes. Well, you have to get 3 first, but then I got my eyes on 4 and then 5. You know what I mean?
As a minimum. As a minimum. What about 8 in a row? Never forget.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
Well, that side had, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Immortals in it, and I reckon you could say the same about like Hall of Famers in this current Brisbane side. So, fuck it, why not? What were your thoughts? Let's get on to some horse racing chat. What were your thoughts on Car Ying Rising's trial?
Look, I'm not a trial guy at all, as you know. Like I don't read too much into them, but look, if you're a futures guy and you got the futures at $3 or $4, you're still like, okay, whatever, I don't care. Like I don't need to play in the race. Whereas if you're a future sicko who's just been smacking at $1.70, $1.75, $1.80, and maybe if you keep pressing him into $1.50, like you would be concerned watching that, wouldn't you? Surely.
Let me read out what John O'Shea said to the good people at Punter on radio, Team Green.
Right.
The reality is he will improve going into the Everest, but he won't improve enough to win an Everest. Now, he knows more than what you and I know, right? We're just two observers that get, this is a passion project of ours. We have 9 to 5s. We're just enthusiasts of the game, and we have great support by the good people at Ned's.
Very well said.
John's had, I don't even know if Lost and Running actually ran in Everest in the end. I think he got scratched on race day, but he's had that caliber of horse. He knows what it takes to actually get a slot in an Everest, right? I think he's pretty adept at what he does. Used to train for Godolphin. Brisbane Broncos fan, John O'Shea.
Is he?
Yeah. So, he knows what it takes to win. I find that really interesting that he had that opinion. And I have a feeling there's a bit of rain. There's going to be some rain forecasted for Sydney over the next couple of weeks leading into the Everest as well. So he might actually find a wet track, because I think that was the concern.
Yeah. It is interesting that Johnny O'Shea even said anything. Like, I think he had linebacker in the trial, right? So, he's obviously watching pretty with intent, but he didn't need to say anything. So for him to say that, and he won't have a runner in the Everest either. So it just doubles down on the fact that he didn't need to say anything. So yeah, I found that really interesting. I don't know. For me, like, I haven't had anything on Ka Ying Rising. Look, if he wins, like, I wouldn't probably be happy or sad. I probably wouldn't. Like, it was like, great, he's the world's best sprinter, and that's just reaffirmed it. But when I've already got a play in the race, and that's with Tempted at a big price, and that's probably what I'll do. Like, she's found a way into it. She'll probably jump at a pretty big price too. And if she wins, sick. If she doesn't, I haven't played that big, but the return will be good anyway.
The way to play the race is classic 1x3 play. That's how you play it, right? Because Jimmy Star's still $15 in the market. Tempted would be around the same price. Like Jolly Star's probably around that $7 to $9 mark. Like, you can play around the favourite and have more to stake to place than to win. I think and then you can turn a profit. Yeah, I think so. Fascinating.
Yeah. It'd be fun if he comes out and brains them.
Oh, yeah. It's got a bit of the romantic warriors about him. Like, his Turnbull run was frankly dross in the lead up to the Cox Plate. And to be honest, mate, I don't even think he was that wound up for the Cox Plate. Like, obviously he would be. The intention would be to, but they just, for whatever reason, he didn't cop the travel, even though he's like he's won Group 1s in like Dubai and things, I think.
Yeah. And remember the lead-up chat around Romantic Warrior was how shit the Hong Kong form is when it lands on our shores. He had to defy history. And that chat hasn't really been around Ka Ying Rising because of Romantic Warrior coming here and doing it. But you're right. Like, him at his best over 2,000 metres brains that field that was in the Cox Plate. And he got home somehow. Definitely wasn't at his best. So, look, Ka Ying Rising, if he's not at his best, that brings him back closer to our best sprinters. But they still need to probably go to a new level to win, I'd say.
I agree. I think Jimmy's on track, mate. I really do.
Jimmy's on track.
All right. Shall we get into the events for this weekend?
Chew.
All right. So, What have I got in my notes here? A little bit of rain around in Melbourne, but nothing to really write home about. We'll be on a good 4 track. Caulfield, railers in the true. Rose Hill, the railers out 2 metres, but all in all, I think Rose Hill's like another 31 degrees on Saturday, so it could be an improving track as well. All in all, should play pretty even, I would have thought. Race 3 at Caulfield, the Herbert Power Stakes, Group 2, 2,400 metres, handicap level. Been a favourite of ours on the podcast over the journey. But, mate, I think if we're talking pots, which we're doing with the good people at Neds this weekend, and the feedback has been stop favourite bashing, and I'll listen to them. Mate, Scary's the best each way bet of the day on the weekend this weekend. He's a sensational bet, I would have thought. Yeah,
our guy Scary's a great bet. Particularly because like he's $14 here with the good people at Neds as we speak. And who's the horse who beat him last start?
Yeah, Whiskey on the Hill, $4.40.
And Whiskey on the Hill's $4.40. And Scary only just got beaten in that race. It doesn't make any sense. Look, could you consider Scary a bit of a nonny? You could. But the thing about Scary is bro needs to get out to this distance as a minimum to start being a chance. As soon as he gets out to this distance, he's got a pretty good record. So, yeah, Dean Yendall to get the job done on Scary, I think that's a phenomenal bet.
Like, sorry, with all due respect to Scary, like I think he had the Sunday Scaries at Mornington. He was 1,700 metres to 24 there. Like, that's a hell of a step up. And he only gave out late there. He only got tired, as he was rightful too in the last furlong, and he still came again. So I reckon that 2,400 metre run at Mornington has done a nice little top up for this. He makes Whiskey on the Wheel half a kilo better at the weights. Barry, Dean Yendall on board. Mate, yeah, Scary's going to run a big race here. And I've seen Smoke and Romans. I've seen Post Impressionists. Yeah. I know Young Werter. Get out of here.
Yeah.
It's scary time.
Yep. Let's go, Scary. Great bet.
All right. That might be the first play in the pot this weekend with the good people at Neds.
Without a doubt.
All right, let's have a look. The next race is the Catanarks Vars, Group 3 level, 1,600 metres for the mares, set weights and penalties. Gringzinger Bell won this last year, for, Wishlaw Lass, and then Cirileo Miss won it, was a 2-time winner as well. Any firm opinions for this race?
Oh, I think there's another value bet here. Number 6, See What I See. She's $7.50 with the good people at Neds. Failed early sort of spring, late winter last year after having a run of wins. I think she won 6 in a row or something like that. See What I See. She was a fill-up for your boy. For some reason, they kept letting her go around in black odds, and I was like, she keeps winning. What are you doing? Came back in the winter, was no good. Spelled her for a year. Came back in a benchmark 100s, the Seeples race, fill-up. And you know, they went super slow. She was out the back. First at run for 12 months, no good. Goes to Ballarat. Starts at a decent price, 55 kilos. Craig Williams on her back. He's on fire at the moment. Wins there. I think she can do the same. Tricky draw, but Craig's on fire at the moment. And I think See What I See is $7.50. The rest you can have. She's the play in this race. I think that's definitely a pot bet this weekend.
Yeah, I think so. Oh2 Good, the obvious danger, is the favourite. Disappointing, Moonee Valley is, and she got absolutely pumped in the market there.
Pumped. Got pumped.
Really, and you know, we were there. If you would put a gun to my head and say, what did this horse look like? I couldn't tell you. So I was just looking through her form profile as well. Like her last 2 runs at the mile, she's lost by 2.5 lengths to Jimmy the Bear, and she's beaten Jimmy the Bear by 3.5. So both of those at Flemington, I think she's, I think from memory, she is a little bit, she can be negative in her runs as well. So potentially see what I see, will have the tactical advantage on her as well. Drawn might have to do a little bit of work early, but Craig's in a rare vein of form, I would have thought.
He is.
So
He is.
give Craig strength at the price. All right. The Weekend Hustler is the next race 5, Group 2, 1,400 metres. Jimmy won this last year, Jimmy Starr. Ayrton the year prior. Cardinal Gem, who had a nice little turn of foot on him. Karma Lass and then Windstorm the year prior. King Zephyr, short price favourite. Does he go out and get the job done?
It'll be incredibly hard to beat King Zephyr. He was really good last start. It was a benchmark 84, and he just was so much better than them, and he jumps to listed here. The concern for him is he a Caulfield horse, King Zephyr? That's a concern, but like he's so well placed that you think he just comes out here and gets the job done. I couldn't possibly have a bet at that price. You know, both of us are similar in the fact that as good as we think he is and how well placed he is, not all $1.75 shots are created equal. So he's a let go round at that price, but I think he wins.
Yeah, I think he's incredibly well placed. I think Zoo Sensation only being beaten 2.5 lengths by Seeples in the Rupert Clark potentially is an improver here. Does have to give him 4 kilos here, but from barrier 2, drawn to do no work, can probably sit just behind the speed there. Been racing against good quality, improves around this time into his preparation as well. Potentially is the fly in the ointment, but $5 maybe it's a small pop bet. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. All right. Race 6 is the Might and Power. Who's won this? So last year we had Deny Knowledge. Then prior to that, Alligator Blood, Animo Probabile, Arcadia Queen, and Ben Battle won this in back in 2018, 2017, I think. 2018. Treasure the Moment, 4-horse field now, $1.70. Buckaroo's the main danger. What do you reckon?
I hate it. Hate a 4-horse field, firstly. It's just becomes so tactical. And if you look back at the Fian Stakes prior to Jenny won really well last start, if you actually look at how she ran that race prior to Jenny, it wasn't the hell for leather catch me if you can. She was actually really well rated out front. And prior to that run, usually when she's really well rated out the front, they actually run her down. What her strength is to go so fast that she just breaks their hearts. So it's almost like a new string to her bow. And I think Treasure of the Moment probably just needs a bit more pressure in her races, and which is what she got first up in the Memsey. I don't know if she gets that here. Like, I think she's the best horse in the race and she should win. But with the colic setback, a month between runs, 1,600 metres up to 2,000 metres. Again, not all $1.70 pops are created equal. And I couldn't be diving into the price. I definitely want to see her win, and I think she does win. But no thanks. It's just got a bit of a stinky feel about it, this race.
Just saying, I don't know if this is a typo or not. She should have 57. Should she not? At weight for age?
As a 4-year-old mare? No, not yet.
Not until the autumn.
No, not until I think maybe not even next month. Maybe next month she'll get the extra kilo. But if this was a 1,200 metre race, it'd be weight for age. She'd only have 2 kilos. But because of the distance, she's got a little bit of relief. So when Animo won his Cox Plate, he didn't have the number 1 saddlecloth, even though he was the highest rated horse, because he had half a kilo off the other geldings and tyres.
There you go. Always learning, drifters. She's the best horse in the race. Buckaroo's in a rich vein of form. That Sir Delius form's looking pretty tasty.
Looking good.
He has no wins from 9 attempts at the distance, though. He can run on a bit, Buckaroo. That's what stayers do at that top level, though. And she's a winning machine, never been outside the Quinella. Considering the setback of Colic, the torrid first up run at that speed, I don't think that she's going to run. You'll see a much improved performance here, and Frosty returns as well. I don't think you can. Yep. He knows her so well as well. So I think she's the winning bet there. Like Globe's $7 in that field, huh?
I think because he's just the map horse. Like he'll lead, and maybe similar sort of thing happens that Blake Shin just rates him so well. But yeah, like I couldn't possibly have a bet in this race. Like, no way.
Nah. No. The Toorak race 7, 1600 metres, Group 1 handicap level. Antino was one of the best wins I've ever seen in this race last year. Attrition the year prior, coming right down the outside. Tuvalu the year prior. I'm Thunderstruck on his way to a Golden Eagle win as well. Mr. Quickie the year prior. Fierce Impact on his way to a Cantala double in the springtime. Land of Plenty, Lucky Hustler. A lot of our favourites are in this.
Yeah, some good horses.
Now, have we learned our lessons with Seeples?
We have, mate. Yeah, he's the pot bet on the weekend. we learned our lesson. We were idiots. Mate, he gets a good draw here. He's pretty well weighted. Like, let's be real. He's got only a kilo more than Lazura, and he's got half a kilo more than Transatlantic. He's got a kilo less than Evaporate. This horse is so lightly raced, and he's had 2 dynamic wins, both one in a slowly run race, one in a super fast run race where he sat one off the leader and still held on with 52 kilos. But I think the setup is perfect for him. Like, he maps so well in this race, sit just behind the speed, and third up here after 2 really good runs. He's a clear bet. He's already been whacked already in the market. He opened about $4. It's not. This isn't a straightforward race, obviously. Like, there's threats to him. Like, I look at Evaporate, absolutely can win this race with Blakey Bill. Transatlantic's been running super. I've been on him both starts. This prep, he gets half a kilo off Sepals. Lazura's been running super. I don't think she's a miler. I don't think she's well weighted here, so I'm happy to take her on. I think Like a Lucy's the big danger for mine against Sepals. Ran 4th in that first up run in the Let's Lope Stakes, which was the Lazura race. She had 58.5 kilos there, and she absolutely steamed home. I know she's going to go back from that gate, though, take their medicine. If there's enough pace on, she can run home with 54.5. So she's the danger at $9. But no, I think we just need to keep backing this man. Keep backing this man.
Yeah, well said. I think at the price doesn't really enthuse me, I'll be honest with you. And I think from that Sir Rupert Clarke, there is a couple behind him that I think could potentially turn the table. So maybe we have like a trifecta or something, because they're at a trifecta, a juicy like exotic price, and that's Damask Rose, who's drawn better. Sure, Jamie's not in great form, but like doing quick maths off the top of my head, I think she'll meet Sepals a couple, 2 or 3 kilos better at the weights. And then, mate, Feroce, like, you know, I think that was a decent run in the Sir Rupert Clarke as well. And he's only going to get better as he steps out in distance as well. Third up here, Billy, like sleeves up Billy on, could cause a little bit of an upset. So they're the ones, like, you can have your Desert Lightnings, got out of the casino with him. Like Pinstripes, going no good. Evaporate's the other one. Like, I think you can trust him again, being like out after that setback, given one of the great rides of all time from Blake Shin last start, much to our dismay, knocking off Transatlantic. So I think there's a ton of chances here, but at the price, Damask Rose and Feroce, the each way plays, but Seeple's on top.
Yep, our guy.
Yeah. All right, the Caulfield Guineas. 1,600 metres Group 1 for the 3-year-olds. Private Life won this last year. Griff the year before. Golden Mile doesn't run a mile.
Triplet.
Animo. He was pretty good. What was I saying? Ole Kirk won a Golden Rose as well. Super Seth is doing some good work at stud. And then Tass, the Autumn Sun. 3 wide, no cover. Fuck you to the rest of the field. Fuck you
so
guys.
much better than you. I'm so much better than you. And he was.
Yeah. So they're the main recent ones. So what I can't figure out about this is how Woden is favourite here at $3.50. Can you figure that out?
No, I get it. Oh, I actually totally see it. Because if you're considering the Golden Rose to be the A1 form for this race, which it typically is, then he's the obvious one out of that. He's run well all prep. He just hasn't won. But I look across this field and I've got no idea who does win though. So I can understand why they're coming for him, because he actually maps pretty well from gate 10. And he's run well all prep, and all the things that have beat him pretty much aren't here. The biggest one that I couldn't wrap my head around for this race though was Autumn Boy. So I'd just be keen to get your thoughts on, firstly, Woden, because clearly you're keen to take him on, but secondly, Autumn Boy, like after that run in the Golden Rose, do you just forget about that? Like, what do you think?
Maybe a bit of the second up syndromes. He was wide there. I think it was obvious that, it was obvious to me, not obvious to the market, that there was bigger fish to fry from him later that prep. I've seen more out of Autumn Boy. Is that a fair statement? I've seen more out of Autumn Boy than I've seen our Woden. Maybe? I don't know. Like, I don't want to take Woden, who is he's a maiden winner at $3.50 in this sort of field, against Vinrock, who is a Group 1 winner. And sure, he hasn't proven it at the mile, but on his day, he's a very tough horse to get past. Nepotism, who was a fantastic 2-year-old, obviously hasn't come up as a 3-year-old, but he could easily turn it around. And he's $15. Autumn Boy is a bigger price.
Yeah.
Has bigger upside. Potentially gets one of the great runs of all time with Frosty if he holds his nerve from Barrier 1. And then even like, sure, a race devoid of speed. Devoid of it. At Moonee Valley. But West of Swindon was really good. I thought, and has to do some work. But, mate, the play for me is Navy Pilot. From Barrier 2, Jamie Mellamon as well, was really, really impressive running down Bakash in those at Sandown. I think he's only going to improve getting out to the mile, from my eye.
Yeah. I don't mind that form. I think typically the Golden Rose form we hold really high. We hold in high regard leading into this, because typically it is a great form race, but a lot of those things in the Golden Rose were from that 2-year-old crop in the autumn that were like, these 2-year-olds are pretty shit. Firstly, Tempted ran third there. I don't think she runs out of 1,400 metres. I think she's a 1,200 metre horse. And I think that was a perfect setup for her coming back to the Everest, because Bavark's broken the track record and went lightning up front. That's the reason why I'm sort of against Autumn Boy, because, yeah, he had a tough run, but I thought he was entitled to finish off better than that, chasing a hot leader. Like, it wasn't a great ride, so on and so forth. Gets D-Lane, gets Gate 1, and he can definitely win, but This race stinks of a result to me. I liked Navy Pilot before the prices went out. I think 550 is a little bit short. I'd rather take Autumn Boy at 480. I was looking at the West of Swindon form, and I was like, yeah, he's bro walked that race, but I thought he ran well, and he's $15. So from a sticky draw, I think all Benny Mellon can do is just go forward and just try and do the exact same thing, which would not fucking surprise me the way some of our Group 1s are run. I think he can win West of Swindon, but I'm probably going to have a throw at the stumps on an even rougher horse, and it was the horse that ran second to him. Number 15, Romantic Encounter. He's 26s at the moment. Dross, 13. But I think he can show some tactical speed. That was his second ever run. He was coming from a Bendigo maiden on a heavy 9 over 1,300 metres. 3 weeks later, goes to the Stut Stakes behind West of Swindon, finishes second. He couldn't have chased him down because West of Swindon had the exact same run. So they didn't change positions at all heading into the line. But this guy's jumped from 1,300 metres to 1,600 metres in what was his second ever run. He's with the right stable. Dan Stackhouse hasn't won a Group 1, but I don't mind him as a jockey. And if he can find a position from gate 13 at $26, like, fuck it, I'll have a throw at the stumps because, yeah, Woden could win, Autumn Boy could win, but I just don't want to, I'm not interested in that price. And I think Navy Pilot's the other one you identified, but I don't like that price about him either. So I'm going to have a throw at the stumps, but fucking if Vinrock wins, whatever, like if Nepotism wins, they're all whatevers. I'm just not prepared to dive into any of them.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. And like there's some horses that showed some during the winter as well. So like I'm looking at even like number 16 Observer for Ethan Brown and Kieran Maher. Like this horse started $1.90 favourite against Buckaloo, who I have a huge opinion of, and I swear something's happened with that horse so that I cannot find anything about it.
Yeah.
But prior to that, mate, like, and he got beaten 6 lengths there, but he had that starting price profile. Prior to that, he was absolutely braining things by 5 lengths in at Sandown as well. So, like, has that form around Planet Red in his maiden as well. So I think a horse like that could improve. Like, wasn't that far off at first up. Going to improve out to 1,600 metres, I would think, being out of Gayarth. So yeah. I could even entertain a horse. I could entertain a horse like that at $31. Like, I think if you're going to go a field in a quaddie league, it would actually be this. Like, honestly, nothing would surprise me.
It's the weirdest Caulfield Guineas I think we've ever covered.
Yeah, that's
like we've had some rough results, like Griff and last year Private Life, absolutely. But there's been a beaten favourite where you're like, oh, this thing should probably just come out and win. Whereas this one is like, I honestly, field job. You're right, field job. Some of these horses, the first time ever I've seen a Caulfield Guineas, and I'm like, I don't know who this horse is.
Yeah. No, it's a good take. Yeah. It's like maybe that was a Australian Guineas. No, I reckon that's right. Who was the Kieran Maher horse that won a derby after running into Guineas? Mac was all over it. Yeah, Haitotsu. I think he was first up into a Guineas.
Yeah.
And then he went into a derby and absolutely brained him. So, you know, that... Anyway. Don't really know what my point was there. Scalacci. So, the race 9 here. 1,100 metres, Group 2, weight for age level. Previous winners, Bellatrix Star won this last year. Asfura the year prior, who's a winning machine over in Europe, which is good to see. Your guy, Paul Laley, Savatu XL, who was doing some of his best work in Darwin. And Dirty Work. Remember that horse for the Hawks stable?
I do remember
could
that
run
horse.
Could run on a bit.
Yeah, definitely could.
Trekking before that. So I reckon that is the race that Trekking won to actually get a slot into the Everest that year.
Right, okay. Mate, this is a hot race.
Mate, you got Everest winner in this field. Giga Kick.
This is one of the most genuine Group 2 fields I've ever seen. And I could make a case for a lot of horses. Giga Kick could make a case for him. Hasn't been at his best, but maybe this is the prep where he finally bounces back. I'm not sure. Mate, Golden Boom has been running super. Form around Barraquil, not too far away from him. And you know where he's going to be in the run from gate 3. Guess who he gets?
Blake.
Ryan Maloney in the bin, brother. I get Blake now. I get Blake. I think he can win. And he's what? $8.50. Nadal. If he finally runs this weekend, I'm like, well, you picked the wrong fucking race. You know what I mean? Like, you picked the wrong one. Because he can win, but like I'd prefer others. Tropicus, my guy. He can win this race from gate 8. Benedetta, she's definitely one of mine, but happy to see her go around first up over 1,100 metres. She might be ready to have some babies, Benedetta. And then Arabian Summer, one you like. She's a tough little filly. She was phenomenal first up in the Moya. She can win. So, I don't know. I probably need to do more form on this race, but I think Golden Boom and Tropicus are the two for me.
Yeah, Tropicus was an interesting one. I nearly had a bet in on him on Tuesday in the all-in markets, but I was like, oh, you know what? He'll be a similar price. He wasn't, because he was $15, and he's into $5 now. That price is long gone. Love the stable, favourite stable, in love with it, adore them. And, you know, there was some late support there, 17s into 12s last start, and it was a great result for the Quaddie on our first ever pot day.
And the victim.
The other one's Neons. Yeah, the other one's Neons for Graham Begg as well. Arguably a little bit disappointing in the Moya, but I'd never really thought that was her race. 14 runners around Moonee Valley. I think, you know, only 10 runners here. Caulfield, she's 2 from 2 at the track and distance. I think the setup's far better for her as well. So I agree. A bit more. This one's tricky as well because there's some winning chances here. It might just be a price dependent outcome. You know what I mean?
It might be.
Yeah. And if I'm thinking like that, maybe it is Arabian Summer because a third behind Barraquil first up reads pretty well. I would have thought.
Reads really well.
Yeah. And this is not a slight on Barraquil, but of the B grade sprinters in Australia, he's the best of them.
Yeah, he is. It's good form. It's really good form.
Yeah. And you know he injured himself on his last run behind Charmstone, and so he's in the paddock again, Barraquil. So, and he still ran third. Yeah. Bloody iron horse. Race 10 is the Northwood Plume. Group 3 over 1,200 metres for the mares at set weights and penalties. So last year, Aviatrix won this from She Dances, Literary Magnate, Dirty Thoughts, Fiesta, my girl, Tefane. I reckon she might have won this on her way to the Furphy Sprint as well. And then Winter Bride, I reckon our good old mate Matthew Dolab bet on that horse once upon a time. Mate, I'm looking back to 2016. Is that making you feel old? Shydell.
Yeah. Oh, definitely one of mine. That is making me feel old. Oh, God. So we have history with this race, is what you're saying?
Well, history, like, it's the preempt to history. Like, there's a few Furphy Sprint operators that can... So maybe, but this is the form reference. This is the lead up to the Furphy Sprint. Yeah.
Interesting. This is a tough race to finish off the day. I have a feeling that a horse is going to bounce back in this race. I'm just not sure who. It's either going to be number 2, Courvolant, at a big price. Number 9, Gummy Gumdrops at a decent price. Or number 12, Vestus at a big price. One of those horses is going to bounce back and win. I'm just not sure which one, and I've got to find it. Something tells me, like, Gumdrops was dual nommed, I think she was nommed in an easier race in Sydney, to be honest. J-Mac, Gate 2, stepping back in distance, coming out of a benchmark 85 down the Gold Coast. This could just be classic Chris Waller, just absolutely fucking us. She's going around at nearly $10. She's probably the one, but I've probably bet on every single horse in this race at some point. Literally, I reckon I have. This is ridiculous. But yeah, that's how I'm seeing it. I think it's another weekend for roughies down in Melbourne. I've just got a feeling.
Yeah. I can't even... I don't know where to look here. Because all of these, like, they're lead-ups. I don't think any of them have won or even got close. They're, like, losing by 2.5 to 4.5 lengths. Like, I have no clue where to look. Like, I think the most recent winner is an Adelaide winner. And, yeah, that's a hard pass from me in number 12, Caravas. But I could see that mare winning as well. Yeah. She has form around Miraval Rose and the like, you know. So, gun to my head right now, I'd be filthy if I jumped off Amina. But she's been a little bit disappointing this prep. But she was a little bit unlucky first up. Maybe she just didn't get around Moonee Valley potentially prior to that. Maybe one more chance. She's never, from the looks... Oh, she's seen Caulfield once, and she was beaten 4.5 lengths. Like, is that the right form? Probably not.
I don't know if
so
it's the right form.
I don't know where to look, mate.
There's
really
question
don't.
marks all over this field.
Yeah.
Call me the Riddler, because there's so many question marks all over this field.
You know what I'm actually looking for? So Blake Shin has had he used to ride Cool Volant, so I reckon he's had his choice of where to go here. He's gone to She's Got Pizzazz, who wasn't too bad first up behind Miraval Rose a few weekends ago. Second up, Operation, okay. But yeah, Moody Coleman, they can just pop up at a price. $12.
Absolutely they can.
Yeah.
Absolutely they can.
Anyway,
that is interesting that he's jumped off Cool Volant. He's seen all he needs to see.
Yeah, well, mate, I'm looking through her, and yeah, sure, I'm more of a trial guy than what you are. Like, she lost a Wangaratta trial by 8 lengths, finishing second last.
She doesn't owe me a cent. I got out of the casino with her. She doesn't owe me anything. I think I bet on her twice, and she's won twice.
I reckon she was the last ever winner for Mike Moroney as well.
She was, yeah.
Yeah. Barley. All right, let's get to Rose Hill. Unbelievably, there's still more racing for us to cover.
Yeah.
Now let's go to race 4, the Roman Consul Stakes. Group 2 for the 3-year-olds at set weights. So previous winners, Switzerland won this last year. Very impressive winner before he went on to the Coolmore, didn't he? He won the Coolmore last year.
It was free. That was free.
Best of Bordeaux. Oh, hang on a second. We're losing I don't have the 2023 winner. Anyway, Best of Bordeaux, Paul Laley, Wild Ruler, Cosmic Force, Russian Revolution. Like, some good horses win this race. So who's the best horse in this race? Mahuna?
I have to say it's Mahuna.
Has to be.
Has to be Mahuna.
Has to be.
I'm seeing that of like something close to $2. That's a $2. Not all sub $2 shots are created equal. This is one that you're prepared to dive into. Gets a nice draw. Tommy Berry gets some weight off the other horses that she beat easily last start because she was first up there. I'd rather take $2 for her than $3.90 for Beedman, even though I was making a case for him last start. Yeah, I think she's a phenomenal bet this weekend at $2. Give me that.
I agree. Yeah, I think she's the best in Sydney, I would have thought.
Yeah, she's a pot bet.
Yeah, big juicy pot bet.
Yeah.
Into Scary to place.
Yeah! Into Steeples to win by at least 3 lengths plus.
Fuck. The Tap Craig. 1,400 metres listed as set weights and penalties. This is only the 4th edition of the race. Opal Ridge, Macarena, and a Node. So no superstars there, I would have thought. Opal Ridge, good on her day, but she's a country horse. any firm opinions for this race? I'd be shocked.
No, I found it fascinating that Chris Waller got a streamo who'd been racing down in Melbourne since late August, who won the Caulfield Guineas Prelude, brought it back up to Sydney, and it's in this race.
Oh, that's a bigger push for Wotan and Autumn Boy than anything, I think.
But this horse has also been up for ages. I think it's won that race. He's thought, yeah, that's the end of the prep. Bring it back up to Sydney and seen this race and thought, he's going all right. So let's just chuck him in.
Yeah.
But couldn't possibly. Couldn't possibly. I was on Fermoy last start in the Navy pilot race, and I thought he was really disappointing, but maybe bringing him back to Sydney will just sharpen him up. And he's a big price. I might have a little bet on Fermoy in Gate 1, but no, mate, it's a tricky race.
Yeah, I have zero opinions of this race yet. I need to do it more. Like, I'll tell you this for free. I'm not betting on Farnacle. Not happening.
No, $2.80. Please.
No way. No. All right, the Gloaming, 1,800 metres, Group 3 for the 3-year-olds as well. So, El Costello won this on his way to a spring champion. Raff Attack controlled it out in front. Sharp and Smart. Head of State, lol. Absolutely got pantsed by Profondo, you might remember. Love Tap. Shadow Hero, good horse. Thinking Big. I reckon that was the year he was the $3 favourite in the Victoria Derby, and there was a head of like the Derby committee, which is Josh McClelland, who just has an absolute mortgage on the race.
He does.
He's like, can't win. Won't and didn't get near it. So he did not go in the race. He didn't go in the quaddie, and he picked the winner extra brute at $11.
That's funny.
And then Ace High, one of ours as well, has to go in the quaddie.
Has to.
One at a price who is dual accepted in the Caulfield Guineas as well. Another one that I've kind of earmarked who will improve getting out in distance is High Vol. Now, if he comes here, Barrier 17 absolutely stinks for him. But I think he is on a Derby path, so he's one to watch. You obviously got like your likes of Providence and Shringular Boy and all those, but yeah, there's form lines galore here. I don't really know where to look. What about Federalist?
Oh, he just needs to get rid of those nuts, Federalist. Then I think he might potentially be a proper horse, but he's been scratched. There you go.
Okay.
So don't worry about Federalist. Maybe he's been scratched because he's going for an operation.
And so is High Vol. Apologies.
No, there you go. I found Within the Law back on the quick backup interesting, but they walked in that flight stakes, so she's probably come through it absolutely fine. But she draws gate 19 with Jason Collett on, so we know where she's going to be Within the Law. I thought Shangri-La Boy was really good. Second run, this half brother of Stormboy, both out of Pelican, the mare. I think it was a super second up run. Brain on my 2.5 lengths, $6. I'll probably have a play. A lot of these are nonnies, and a lot of these we sort of know where they're at. I feel like he's a little bit untapped. Shangri-La Boy, and you know where he's going to be in the run.
As is your right, mate. I need to do more form on this race because there's too many bloody form lines, so I can only do so much. The Navision is next. So previous winners: Alentia, Magic Time, Sky Command, Menage. Nicki Minaj, Positive Peace, Madame Rouge. Some funny horses there. I thought this was difficult too. Like, I thought Sydney was really difficult in general.
Really, really hard.
I thought it was the Source is going to have a torrid time, to be fair.
Oh, absolutely. Gangster Granny, is Gangster Granny any good?
Running well, but I don't know. If she couldn't get the job done, and you know she was against Autumn Glow, but she ran pretty well there. Tested Autumn Glow. I think that's where the market sport obviously came from. the next start. But both of those races were 8-horse fields. She's stepping up to a 16-horse field here, which I think is just going to have more tempo and out in front. I just don't like that setup for her. I think at $2.80, I'm happy to take her on.
Yeah. And what about in flight?
The thing for me, and I thought she ran really well in the Concord at that level, beaten less than 2 lengths, loomed up along the rail like she was going to actually win. Definitely step back in grade against her own sex here. I could understand that. Thing for her, her form profile suggests that she's better with a bit of cutout, and I don't think she's going to get that this weekend. So that's enough for me to go off her a little bit, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. I found this is another really tough race. I don't have a firm opinion. Probably need to do more form. Sorry, Drifters.
I think Lady Extreme was a very impressive winner against the boys last start. 1,200 metres there. Remains at this here. Probably going to go back, but that was a very impressive performance. $27. Jeez. I don't think there's any absolute stars in this field.
No, absolutely
Maybe
not.
there's one I've missed, but she was one that gave me a little bit of interest.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Good luck to the source.
The Hill Stakes. 1900 metres Group 2 at Way for Age level. Attrition won this last year at a big price for Declan Jones over there. Montefilia the year prior. Now, I reckon I said that Montefilia was the best bet of the year when Cascadian knocked her over. Think It Over and Colding and very, very elegant Ace High. Mate, Hartnell's won this. Good horses race.
Linda Mann has been in cracking form and draws the wide gate, and it took a hell of a run from Fangirl to beat him last start in the 7 stakes. He's in great form, and I think he can win again. Bit short for mine from that gate, so I'm going to have a bet on a horse that I don't mind, number 10, Kingswood, at $9.50. Was on him when he was first up after 41 weeks in the Ronald McDonald House Charities Trophy, where he went down to Golden Path, and Golden Path has been racing well this prep. So, I'm prepared to have a bet on him. Kingswood, $9.50. I think he's a horse who's got probably Group 1 handicap quality in the right race. Bit tougher here. Attrition. He's been running well. I just think he wins once a prep. You just got to find him. It could be this race, but happy to take him on.
Yeah, it's fair enough, mate. What about the Queensland Derby winner, Mason Louis?
Yeah, I saw that he was racing.
Yeah,
a bit of an interesting one. Super Seth horse, but.
I really don't like horses stepping up from, say, more than a furlong each run. Obviously, there's caveats to that for your middle distance races, right? They go from 2,000 to 2,400, obviously, but they have a body of work before they do that. So this horse, second up from 1,500 to 1,900, is a little bit of alarm bells territory, but he's got a nice little resume so far, Mason Louis. Barrier 4, drawn to do 0 work, so that could offset any lack of fitness. Has the Queensland residual fitness potentially as well. $19, I think that's potentially a play. Potentially.
Yeah. Yeah, he's one that I found was a bit of an odd placement as well. Hence the price, though. Can't begrudge someone for backing a $19 pop.
Yeah.
Backing roughies this weekend.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Fuck it. And I believe this is the last race that we're covering. I think we went to town on this race last year.
We did, yeah.
The Alan Brown, the $1.5 million Alan Brown. absolute fucking joke. This race has 22 acceptances in it. Like, the Epsom had 14, I think. Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Now, obviously, Autumn Glow would have scared a lot of those off, right? But, and I'd be shocked if there was any. There's two mares in the field. So that kind of 3 mares, if you include O'Diamond Lil as an emergency. So, obviously, the black type means a bit more to the mares than the boys. So, this is just a geldings race, basically.
Yeah, this is just, we want some prize money this race. I'm not a fan of it. Because a lot of these should be either in the Epsom or in the Toorak. It's a chat for another time. I'm keen to have a bet, though. My guy Green God's happy to see him go around because he's had a weird... Like, what's going on with him? If he comes out and wins, happy for him. Big fan. Yeah. He's $7, so he's probably still a price where you probably could have a bet. But I thought Basasto was good first up in the Bill Ritchie handicap. I'm good at running second in that race because Gringotts ran second in that race last year. So I thought he was good. He gets a nice draw. He's close to that sort of $10 mark, which seems to be a lot of my plays this weekend. It is a tricky race, but I'm happy to have a bet on him.
Yeah, he was the one I found as well, Basasto. Might be a bit of a line in the sand for Basasto this weekend, though. Like, he's 3 from 18. Like, you know what I mean? It's like he can... Yeah. He's almost in the he can run on a bit file.
I think he's at his best when he can get his toe in, which which is odd because he actually hasn't seen a lot of heavy tracks. I think he started on 3 and had 4 starts on soft decks. So maybe he needs to get his toe in. But I agree. I think he needs to win this or run super.
Mate, you know what it is. He's a blue point. I didn't know that. Blue points are not genuine. Seriously, they're not.
He's a half brother to Amelia's Jewel.
Well, she was good as a younger horse in her own backyard, but she went off her tucker.
She was a friend of mine until she somehow lost that Empire Rose. How did she lose? How did she lose that race? Thank God for Isthmus and Switzerland.
Thank God. That's giving me the ick a bit. I'm not going to lie to you. I seriously, he's my least favourite sire. Like, I just don't think his progeny any good. I really don't. They have a think about it. They're not as consistent as your Schnitzels, as your Wooton Bassets, as the like. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, Miss Rombini, 460, around favourite here. Do I want to dive into her? 2 torrid runs. She's been very good. Still has to do it from barrier 12. Tommy Berry's in good form, potentially. If she gets a run, O'Diamond Lil she's a winning machine, mate, and she does it from out front. She has an absolute featherweight here. I'm a big fan, and... Sure, she's been doing it in benchmark grade and she won a Group 3 last start, but I think she's progressive, O'Diamond Lil. So I'm hoping she gets a run because she'll be my on-top selection.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, Drifters, that's all she wrote. Thank you so much for listening. Pot this weekend. Log into your Neds app. You'll see our faces. You join the group. You join the pot. You have to, and if you're quick enough, you might get a little sweetener.
Yeah, I can't wait. Look, we've got to get our record to 2 from 4, 50% strike rate. I'd be happy with. I got a good feeling this weekend. Like I think we just need to jag a couple of rough results and we're off and away.
I think so. Some comments in the group. How did the pot go last time, fellas? My first time in this one. Cheers. Let's not talk
just
about
forget
that.
about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. 24,800 in the pot already.
Wow.
That's significant. I think we might be breaking records. So thankfully the drifters out there have short memories. maybe they were all listening to us last weekend because I think, between us, we might have tipped 2 cards last weekend.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think so. Look, I said last weekend that it was a roughies day in Flemington, and I was right, and I've found a couple of them, but not the ones that were paying like $20 to $40. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
A lot of people had a tough day last weekend, and we didn't, so...
Yeah. Yes, they did. All right. Thanks for listening, Drifters. We'll see you Sunday. Hooroo.
Peace and blessings, Drifters.